So the breathing and exchange of gases, as we learned some basics yesterday, with that particular basics, we need to go, we can continue the topic. Actually, this is the beginning we have to say, because that basics will be helpful for us to understand the concepts and the different kinds of issues which we are going to run over in this particular area. So let's start the topic. Let's start the topic. The respiratory system. So respiratory system. As we can say, we can define it as it's your calorie burner. Respiratory system, we can say it's a calorie burner as well as a energy provider. It's an energy provider and calorie burner. So how we have to see that, we are seeing little bit yesterday. It's a calorie burner and as well as it is a energy provider. Respiratory system, we can define it as calorie burner and energy provider. So we can say the respiration as a catabolic process. So that means you are breaking down. We can say respiration as a catabolic process of release of energy, that we can call it as it's a catabolic process of release of energy, mostly by the oxidation of food. It is done by mostly by the oxidation of the foods. So particularly we have to say the glucose, which we said that particular issue in the yesterday's class. So let's talk about that. Oxygen obtained from the surrounding medium, that we obtain oxygen from the surrounding medium, from the atmosphere, is utilized. What we do with the oxygen? What we do with the oxygen is utilized in the production of oxygen. We utilize in the production of metabolic water. The first thing that some water will come over, one water is going to be formed, and end product of the burning of calories, that I'll show with an equation, that well-known equation for us, that we are seeing for so many times, that what we do with the oxygen, this is the question I asked yesterday, then what we are going to do with the oxygen, we have answer for that. What we do with the oxygen? Oxygen is utilized for the breakdown of glucose. Yeah, breakdown of glucose, and what will come there? What we are going to get there when we break the oxygen? Energy, 38 to 80. Yeah, 38 energy will come over. So that means we have to say that the breakdown of oxygen in the presence of the glucose, a breakdown of glucose in the presence of oxygen, we obtain carbon dioxide, then water will come. Along with that, we said that is burning of calories, means the release of the liberation of the energy. So this is the equation we are observing from the well-known equation we are observing from that earlier classes also, that actually what is the use of oxygen, now we are going actually. So in this particular topic. So what we do with oxygen, we break glucose. We break glucose for the to get the energy. Okay. So then before we get into the human being, we need to see here some issues which are present, oxygen transport issues and oxygen gaseous exchange issues in the different animal. One among them is the counter current flow, the special kind of oxygen transport, oxygen intake, counter current flow mechanism, which we observe in the fishes, that we have to see in fishes. The counter flow is there. So what is counter flow? What is the advantage of counter flow? That all issues we have to see here. So let me go for counter flow mechanism in case of fishes, particularly that what kind of how does it is going to make efficient oxygenation of the blood. So for what it is, that if we ask over for what it is, we need to say it is for the efficient oxygenation of the blood. Okay, so it is the efficient oxygenation of the blood. So simply we can say here. So what is counter flow? Opposite flow we can say counterflow, then how does it work? Let me see. Oxygenation, efficient oxygenation of the blood. Okay. So that let me show you this in the fish. What are the respiratory organs of the fish? Yeah, gills are going to be the respiratory organs of the fish. Okay. So for that, let me show you the gills here with the red color. Imagine these are the gills which contain blood capillaries. These are the gills which contain blood capillaries like this. Okay. So then water will enter into the mouth. So general mechanism we are talking about here. Through the mouth, water enters, that opens into the buccal cavity, and that opens into the pharynx. Pharyngeal gill slits, we use it to say them as pharyngeal gill slits. It's an imaginary diagram. Then water will flow like this. Well, through the gill slits, water will come out. Okay. So what we are saying, counterflow, what is the meaning of counterflow? That when water is flowing like that, here blood is going to flow like this. Not from outside we can show in the blood vessels. The flow of blood is opposite to the flow of the water. So that means I have to bring both issues in one place that I'll show you here. This is the blood flow. This is the blood flow, the flow of blood like this. And in the same way, I'll show you the water flow. Water flow through the gill slits. Let me show you the water flow through the gill slits. Okay, so this is counterflow. This is called counterflow. Just I am visualizing counterflow. So if you want to define that, simply we can define like this. Flow of blood is opposite to the flow of water. Flow of blood is opposite to the flow of water. We can say counter flow. Flow of blood is opposite to the flow of water. What do you say? It's a counter flow. Okay. So then what is the advantage? What is the advantage? That you might know that blood contain RBC, RBC contain hemoglobin. So they never become equal. Means oxygen is coming like this, oxygen is going that way, and hemoglobin with RBC is going this way. So that's why always they supply. Imagine if the both are in same side, so what happens in a particular level, when it comes over in one particular level, the both become isotonic. What it mean? Isotonic. So with this condition, you need to understand here flow. If anything want to flow in between, we need to have some concentration difference that I'll show you here. That in water, there is high oxygen concentration. In water, oxygen concentration is high. And in the blood, oxygen concentration is low. So that's why oxygen will come from the water. Imagine if both are flowing in one direction, what happens in one particular level, both will become, there is no transport after that. Okay. So this is cannot be helpful for that particular, the concept of intake of large amount of oxygen. So now you see here, that you can see here, they never become equal. Okay, simply we can say the two people, the two rows, one is running in this row and other is running this. So these are giving and these people are taking. So that never become equal. So that you have to think this, that both, if they are both are flowing in same direction, imagine flow of blood and flow of water. If in same direction in one particular level, what happens? Both will become equal. After that, there is no transfer of oxygen or something else, whatever it may be. So you please understand this particular concept, which will be helpful for us in excretory system also at the time of formation of urine. But now this thing we are talking about in the fishes, counter current flow mechanism. How does it helpful for the efficient oxygenation of the blood? Is it clear here? If you have any doubts, you can ask here. Yes, any doubts? Yeah, shall we move forward? In the same way, where there is a special case in case of birds also. Means here, just before we enter into the human being, we are talking about the different kinds of special issues in the other animals other than the human being. In birds, might have seen over. We are seen in the animal kingdom chapter that, but here it's a formality. We are talking about exchange of gases. That's why we need to take care of each and every speciality which is present in the breathing and exchange of gases in animal kingdom. During about respiratory system in animal kingdom, what kind of specialities are there? So we are talking about the birds. Let's talk about the birds. Birds have developed. If you see the birds have developed a special kind of technique. Birds have developed a technique of continuous exchange of gases. They developed a technique called the continuous exchange of gases. That is their specialty. Continuous exchange of gases. How does it is possible that we will see now? Continuous exchange of gases. How does it is possible? Even during expiration, continuous exchange of gases, not only during inspiration, also during expiration. During expiration. Okay. So how does it is possible? I'll show you. Then how? With the help of a unique feature. The help of a unique feature called air sacs. The presence of air sacs.
Air sacs.
Yeah. That how many air sacs are present in the birds? There are 9 air sacs are present. Okay, 9 air sacs. We call that air sacs, and you can say them as parabronchi. Air sacs and parabronchi are the unique feature of these particular birds. Okay, so I'll show you how does the continuous oxygenation and presence of air sacs, what is the difference between lungs and air sacs in this case that we have to see. Lungs and air sacs. So let me show you first of all that lungs, just a diagram which explains you. These are trachea, these are bronchi as usual, and now need to see about the lungs. Okay. Then if it is human being, it's enough here, it's over here. But in case of birds, the lungs are still connected with air sacs. Okay, so air sacs, I'll show you air sacs. There are nearly 9 air sacs are present. That as a representation, I am giving only 2 here. 9 air sacs. Okay, that cervical, superior thoracic, inferior thoracic, likewise the pairs of air sacs and an individual air sac called interclavicular. Likewise, there is actually there is no need for us for individual names of the air sacs. Just there are 9 air sacs are present. Interestingly, these air sacs are having continuation with, so these are the air sacs. They are not lungs, they are air sacs. These are the lungs.
Bird's lungs.
Yeah, and interestingly, these air sacs are still connected with the bones, isn't it? That they are connected with the bones. What do you call the special bones present in the birds? Pneumatic bones. We call the bones of the that birds is said to be pneumatic bones. Now, let's talk about oxygenation. That means that as usual, like any other organism, through the trachea, air enters into the lungs, bronchi, and this particular air enters into the lungs, and gaseous exchange is going to happen here. Means our so-called blood capillaries are present in lungs only, not how can be they are present in the air sacs. So that means that so-called blood capillaries, that means pulmonary capillaries, which are taking oxygen here only. Okay, so these are the pulmonary capillaries. They are taking oxygen here only. Now try to understand the direction. This is the direction. Oxygen entered here into the lungs, air entered in the lungs, but it won't be stopped here. That is an interesting item. It can't be stopped here. The air also flow in the air sacs. See here, air also flow in the air sacs. During inspiration process, air also flow in the air sacs. Here in this particular area, only phenomenon you need to understand, though air present in the lungs and air sacs, you'll find air both in lungs and air sacs, but oxygen exchange where it is happening?
Lungs.
Only lungs. That means here that atmospheric air, when it reaches to the lungs, that oxygen present in the atmospheric air went towards the blood capillaries. It's over during inspiration. Now let's talk about expiration. Expiration air. So that means here air should come from here. That isn't it? That means air is coming. So they want to go back. So is there anything oxygen consumed here in the air sacs? Is there any oxygen consumed in the air sacs? Means they are given anything?
No, sir.
No. Means still oxygen is there. Now you see, returning back from air sacs to lungs, and from the lungs to bronchi to trachea. What do we call this process as expiration? Isn't it? During expiration, when air come from air sacs to the lungs, then again oxygen will come into the oxygen will come into the what we say to the blood capillaries. So not only during inspiration, also during expiration. Okay, not only during inspiration, also during expiration. Wait a minute, then I'll show you that additional room. So just for example, so the children are here, some ABCD bulke, that ABCD children are waiting for chocolates. There are 10 people entered in the room. Each person carry one chocolate. Okay. So 10 people, let's make it 8. We'll understand much better. So 8 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Means here that 8 people entered, they adjusted like this. So this 1 is given chocolate to the B, 2 is given chocolate to the like 2B, 3C, 4D, they are given. Okay. So this is called inspiration. Okay. This is called inspiration. So 8 people entered in the room 1 and 2. The rooms 1 and 2. Now I am saying here, during expiration, process will come like this, isn't it? At the time of entry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 entered. At the time of exit, so first who will come out from the room?
8.
Yeah, 1 will go out, then after 2 will go out, then after 3 will go out, 4 will go out. So then these people, this room, from this room, people will shift over. See this. So who will come after? This 5 person will come here out or not? Yeah, through this room only they have to come, isn't it or not? During return expiration. Okay, so we call this as expiration. At the time he is giving chocolate again to this D. Okay, so during entry they are not given anything, just they entered inside. While returning, the 5, 6, 7, 8, they are still having chocolate with them, isn't it? Do you accept this?
Yes, sir.
I think this chocolate example will make you to understand comfortably. So when this particular 5, 6, 7, 8, if they want to go out, should enter into this room or not? When they enter, they will provide the chocolate again. What is the chocolate here?
Oxygen.
Yeah, oxygen. So that's why can I call here? Not only during inspiration, also during expiration, there is a possibility of intake. So if we compare with a human being, that human being simply we can say like this: trachea, bronchi, lungs. Okay, oxygen will come enter inside into the lungs. Gaseous exchange occur with the blood capillaries, and then after that air will go out. Okay, so that is not happening in case of birds. Oxygen enters into the lungs, then into the particular air sacs, and then into the bones. So we are not talking about the bones. They are that also written out. So just I am explaining with there is another room that I am talking about. There is another room. Okay, so no gaseous exchange here. There is no children to take chocolate. So no gaseous exchange in the air sacs and bones. So that's why when this oxygen is returning during expiration, so see the above lines, whether a justification happened or not. Continuous exchange of gases, even during expiration. Not only during inspiration, even during expiration, that supply of oxygen is going to happen. If it is clear, I'll shift to the next frame.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. Then here one more before we enter into the human being, some other specialities in the different organisms. We are looking forward that Next, in case of birds, what is the speciality of birds? Insects and some arthropods, not only insects like Chilopoda and Diplopoda, some arthropods, supply oxygen directly, directly to each cell, via the tracheae and tracheoles. Okay, what is the speciality here that is that much special? If you compare with a human being, you can understand how far the specialty is going to be. That means, yeah, that here respiratory system is going to be helpful for the particular transport. So that's what we are talking about. So what is the advantage here? For every cell, thus every cell is going to be, every cell can virtually receive oxygen directly. Every cell, because there is a huge special, that particular tracheole will enter into the cell to the near the mitochondria. Okay, virtually they receive oxygen directly, that making the tracheate animals very active. Tracheate animals, we'll get the question like this only, that those are having trachea, that we can say tracheate animals, Chilopoda, Diplopoda and Insecta. So, but you should remember with Insecta, this particular speciality. So I will show you how it is. So just I'm not going to draw the whole thing, but let us try to understand that particular concept, trachea concept here, that let us try to understand. Basically, here we'll find spiracles. Spiracle open into the gaseous chamber. Then gaseous chamber opens into the trachea. This is the trachea. Okay, so this is the trachea. The trachea is having cartilaginous rings, you might know. Then the trachea will get branched into the branches of trachea, or we can say tracheoles. They are very, very smaller. How much smaller they are? They are formed from a single cell. That no need at present, just to know, they are formed from a single cell. Means there is a tracheole cell, which is cytoplasmic extensions of the tracheole cell, we can see. So what is the speciality? That let us see here. So imagine if this is a cell, okay. So these particular tracheoles are reaching inside the cell. These particular tracheoles are reaching inside the cell. They are said, you see here, they get reached inside the cell. Near to the mitochondria, they are giving door delivery. It's not door delivery. Beyond the door delivery means here that executive entering into the house. You are in dining hall and he stay that directly the Swiggy boy supplied the biryani to your dining room. So that is their specialty. Okay, so oxygen from atmosphere, oxygen through the spiracles, we call these are spiracles. So through the spiracles, then this is atrium, nothing, no need to remember, the trachea, and from the trachea, that oxygen is entering inside into the tracheal fluid. Here we'll find some fluid. That means here we are not talking about the complete details of the topic, but just we need to understand exactly what is the speciality. Okay, so this is a tracheal fluid actually, that oxygen will dissolve in the tracheal fluid and will go that slowly towards the tissues, to the cells in the cell. Imagine this is a cell actually, into the cell. Okay, so what is another specialty? Let's compare with a human being. This is the human trachea, then lungs. So from the lungs, as I said to you yesterday in the basics, from the lungs, that oxygen should be collected by, oxygen need to be collected by the blood capillaries, and all the blood capillaries should go to the heart, and from the heart, left atria, left ventricle, left systemic aorta, and then, yeah, that means here there is an involvement of two systems in the transport. One is respiratory system, and then another is circulatory system. So if I ask you a question, have you seen anywhere the respiratory system not only collect oxygen, the respiratory system itself branched and supplied oxygen to the body parts? Have you seen anywhere?
Sir.
My God. Let me ask the same question. Have you seen anywhere the respiratory system itself not only collect oxygen from the atmosphere and themselves they are branched, no involvement of the circulatory system. Themselves they are getting branched and supplying oxygen to the tissues? Have you seen anywhere? Yeah, itself. Now you are watching that you need to get surprise for this particular issue, isn't it? Yeah. So that's it. That means this is a speciality actually. Just watch it carefully and read it. You try to think that particular. I'll give some 30 seconds. Read it and try to observe it and compare with a human being. Okay. Sure. Let's take one more basic here to get that means here one more speciality. They comparing with human being, how far that the remaining animals are differ as a landmark we are observing. Okay, elephant seal. Let us discuss about elephant seal. Elephant seal. What is the speciality of elephant seal? It's a mammal actually. Elephant seal is a mammal. So mammal means definitely lungs should present. Then can remain under elephant seal can remain. So it's an aquatic organism. That means it can remain underwater for up to underwater for up to 2 hours. Elephant seal mammal can remain underwater for up to 2 hours. You might know that any person who is swimming, who knows swimming, who don't know swimming, that no matter that at least those people who know swimming, how to the without taking oxygen, staying 1 minute even is a bigger issue for them. That they know at least the difficulty. Okay, so those for particular people. So we are talking about the same our mammal, that elephant seal, a mammal can remain underwater for up to 2 hours. So how does it how is possible where it's not possible to human being even? We are talking about that impossible things only. So that particular muscles, elephant seal muscles of the particular the muscles of the elephant seal is going to be and not only elephant seal and in some other aquatic animals also, in some other aquatic mammals, aquatic mammals, we know the whale, in all of them they contain myoglobin. Myoglobin, muscle hemoglobin we call myoglobin. Hemoglobin which is stored in the muscles, we can say myoglobin. The muscles of the elephant seal and some other aquatic animal contain myoglobin, which has more affinity for oxygen. So that means here now you can understand that particular muscles are taking oxygen when they come out, and that particular oxygen is going to be helpful for the organism to stay, to survive in the water for the 2 hours. Okay, so that is a possibility. Just we need to notice about that particular elephant seal is one of the best example, like a mammal. Even it's a mammal, it's aquatic animal here. That being aquatic animal, it doesn't develop gills. That same that lungs is having the respiratory organ, but made some particular adaptation that muscles contain hemoglobin. Okay, sure. Any doubts there? Any doubts about the elephant seal? Okay, so then let's continue the topic here. Let's continue the topic. This is just introduction, and I request the students to practice yesterday's class, the oxygen transport from atmosphere to lungs, and oxygen transport from atmosphere to lungs, carbon dioxide from no oxygen transport from not only up to lungs we are seeing. Till the tissues we have seen, isn't it? So then in the same way, you have to practice a carbon dioxide transport from tissues to atmosphere. That whole sequence. Okay, now let's talk about some general issues. All living cells need constant supply of energy. All living cells need the constant supply of energy in order to carry out the various metabolic activities. Why we require energy means we can say various for the maintenance of the various metabolic activities. Definitely, we require energy. So how does that particular energy will come? That we observe now. That means here respiratory system is not a topic like which we learned in earlier classes, oxygen transport, then carbon dioxide transport. Then how far it is important? That is you have to understand. All living cells need constant supply of energy. They require energy. Okay. Then energy, how does the energy is produced? Energy is produced by the oxidation of micromolecules. What are the micromolecules which are used frequently? Micromolecules of digested food. What are that micromolecules? Yes, what are that micromolecules? Mostly glucose, isn't it? Such as glucose. You can use fatty acids in the order and amino acids also. These are least one actually. That for energy we use mostly glucose. Okay, so that means that their transport, whatever after the digestion, these materials are need to be transported. How does they transport it? These materials are need to be transported over. How does these particular materials are transported? Through need to be transported to the cells and the tissues of the body need to be transported to the cells. And how do they get transported? The transportation possible with the help of circulatory system. Yeah, blood vascular system we can say is possible with the help of circulatory system. So that means here that you need to see it as a whole. We are completed digestive system. Now we entered in the particular respiratory system. It's not like that. It's not like that. What is the use of digestive system? Digestion of food materials. Okay. The food material digestion is completed. Okay. What next? What next? That particular digested food material, we made them to transport. And after the transport of that particular food materials, the thing which I am saying from the beginning, the glucose, when it reaches to the cell, the glucose is going to be oxygen, the oxidized, we can say here. Oxygen is utilized. How does we utilize the oxygen? For what we are using oxygen? For what aspect we are using oxygen? For what particular aspect we are using oxygen? Yes, I think you can say now. Oxygen utilized by the organisms for what? Utilized by the organisms to break down